Hi there, colleagues. Our last presentation of the day, Barking and Dagenham College.
Hello, my name's Ellen Kerr and I'm from Barking and Dagenham College, and I'm with a couple of the students from the co-club with me, Gareth Calicaratnam and Philip Newbury. Before I start, I'm just going to give you a little bit of background of why and how the co-club started. Basically, at Barking and Dagenham College, I was a student a couple of years ago, and basically they gave us an opportunity to open up an IT shop. We opened up the IT shop and it was just basically students running this. But the problem we faced is we had a lot of students coming in asking us whether we can teach them to code. This was quite hard with us doing our coursework and fixing computers and making a business grow. So we had to kind of turn these students away, which was quite heartbreaking actually for myself. I also come across a few quotes that were very important. Everybody in the country should learn how to program a computer because it teaches you how to think, and that was by the famous Steve Jobs himself. This was giving me nightmares at night because I was actually turning these students away that wanted to learn to code, but I just never had the time to teach them. I also come across superstars encouraging people to learn to code as well, which I'm just going to give you a briefing of what inspired us to bring up the co-club.
Here we are, 2013. All depends on technology to communicate, to bank, and none of us know how to read and write code.
The first program I wrote asked things like, what's your favorite color? Or how old are you?
I wrote a program to play tic-tac-toe.
I first learned how to make a green circle and a red square appear on the screen.
You're just trying to make something, trying to transfer something from your mind to the computer or to the tablet. It's an experience.
The whole limit of the system is just that there just aren't enough people who are trained and have these skills today.
The programmers of tomorrow are the wizards of the future. You know, you're going to look like you have magic powers compared to everybody else. Great coders are today's rock stars. That's it.
So what did I do about this problem? So what I actually did was decided to attend this Raspberry Pi Jam. And at the Raspberry Pi Jam, there was already a co-club running, but it was basically for primary school children, not for further education or senior people wanting to learn. So we came up with the co-club at BDC. And the co-club was introduced that everybody can get a chance to learn further their skills in coding, not just IT people. We found that we were an entrepreneuring college at Barking and Dagenham College, and mostly people want to develop their skills and build digital applications. Well, how do they do that if they're not studying an IT course? So if you have the co-club, you can then let them students come and grow and develop their skills and also develop their digital businesses and understand how coding is, and teaching them also to think more logically. How this works. Basically, you need a volunteer, a venue and some projects. Now projects, you do not actually need to have the curriculum projects given to you. There's things online that you can go onto such as Code for an Hour or Code MV, which actually do provide you with the projects there ready for students to learn. The volunteer themselves do not also have to be a programmer or advancing programming, because the Code for an Hour and Code MV also provide you with this information. What you actually get from that, from 1 hour of coding, teaching 1 week of coding for students, is a co-club with successful programmers that can learn and develop together at all different educational levels. So you don't just have the HND, all professional students. You can actually have level 1, BTEC, level 2, or even, like I say, maths and English. It's not just restricted just to IT alone. Within the Code Club, like on the Code for an Hour, you also get languages such as PHP, HTML, C++, JavaScript, CSS. You can learn all different ranges. At the moment we're trying to do quite a few projects, of which we're going to be speaking about further on, that the students themselves are going to explain to you. I'm I'm now going to hand you over to Phil, and Phil can... Oh no, wrong bit. Sorry, apologies. Members can actually develop at their own... The advantages of the Code Club is that members can actually develop at their own pace, and they can use their own imagination. Unfortunately, when you're restricted to a curriculum guideline, you have to build this database, or you have to connect the website to a database in a specific manner, just so you can pass your curriculum courses. Unfortunately, sometimes that's quite difficult and quite intense for learners to actually go straight in and learn. With the Code Club now, you can actually learn at your own pace, use your own imagination, and develop whatever you feel comfortable with developing. We also get involved with digital competitions. As an IT teacher now myself, I find that balancing the competitions and the curriculum is rather hard to do. So if you have a Code Club, you can actually push them digital competitions to the students, with the students that actually really want to learn how to code and get involved. And again, it's not just restricted to the IT department. It can go throughout the whole college, and everybody can get the chance to develop their business idea. We recently took part in an LMI for All, of which Galska is going to give you more in-depth about. We also took part in the Summer Innovation, and we're actually taking part in the Duke of York Awards, which is actually taking place within the Code Club, where we learn to code all these projects. I'm now going to pass you over to the students, who will give you more information regarding what they do.
Well, hello, my name is Galtica, and I'm studying computing. But what I found was that in my classrooms, computing was a bit boring and intense, and we never had fun projects that come along. So even though we're trying to code websites and things like that, it was sort of restricted to a curriculum and not really fun. So by going to this Code Club, we started working on smaller projects but fun things. For instance, we used the Raspberry Pi, and we just learned how to open and shut a curtain. And we used the Arduinos and Lego Mindstorms as well, so small little fun projects. But it helped us learn coding much more better. Yeah.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Philip Newbury. I'm a student here as well, same as Galska, and I study animation, but I'm also part of the Code Club. Now, this thing with the Code Club, this is a place that students can all meet up and sit down and just get on with some programming, kind of explore the things they want to learn if they have the intrigue. And it can help enhance your college work, or like me, where I want to be a future game designer. Where I want to be a future game designer, apart from the animation, I will probably want to know a little bit of code. And that's why the Code Club has been very accommodating to me. We've also got a nice collection of people of different levels of experience and knowledge, which is very handy to have in your Code Club. Now, also, where I say students meet up, it's not just students. We do have some staff members as well who they're also, curious. They want to, maybe I sit there and I use Microsoft Word all day. Well, I want to make Microsoft Word. How does it work? So they turn up and they have a look as well. And that's quite good. As a student, you're sitting there with someone who has that full-time job and they're also programming. It puts it in the perspective. There are a lot of opportunities that can arise from it. As you heard, the Duke of York is one of them, which I will hopefully be participating in. And we've also used many other opportunities that will be coming up. Look out for it, it'll be cool. We've also actually used this to back up one of our opportunities where I was in a competition, and we won. Yes! But with it, we managed to make a, this is coming from someone who hasn't done it before, managed to program up a full website. So, we also have seen top developers come in as well, and that's been a very interesting little excursion from the everyday animation work line. So I think that's all to say on that. Click on.
Here's some of the results of the Code Club. So as a student, I participated in a competition, part of the LMI for All hack. So basically that involved using labour market information data and creating an app to help students take career decisions. So I'll show you the video which we entered, but what you will see is what a Code Club has helped us to do.
Real technical stuff here.
Can you hear that?
I'm sorry, I'm stressed out again.
Why?
Because I'm trying to look for credit cards, and every website I've been on hasn't been giving me any information at all.
Have you typed on your feet?
What's that?
Let me show you. What kind of area are you at?
I've been checking the computer.
Yeah, let's start right here. Like that. So now here you see all the list of computing jobs that will come up.
Can you see this?
Click on IT engineering.
Well, I'll explain it.
There you go, you explain it.
What I'm trying to demonstrate here is the app that we created. So I'm talking here about how we used the data pool and created a website which actually was responsive, and it turned into an app. So we used the data pool, put it together, made search engine tools. So all this information that's coming up on these searches were live data. And even though in computing I'm learning to do all this, it wasn't sort of focused on this. So Code Club sort of just took me to the straight way of being able to do this kind of stuff.
We'll get jobs there.
I'll tell the video. And this was basically the result of the competition. So that's Matthew Hancock representing the results, and it's just basically we came out runner-up.
Okay, let's go back and down.
Here is the mobile version of the app.
Oh.
The same as the web layout, so everything you see on the website you can see here too. For example, you can go here and you can click on videos, which gives you inspirations on any other jobs that are out there in video format. And you can also do the job search, so you can do a job search around there.
Thank you so much. This is so in.
And the runner-up, £2,500, goes to Know Your Future, which is designed by a team from Barking and Dagenham.
And this actually led us on to, we got called back by the LMI people, and we've actually gone through a next stage of the competition. So we are working with top developers now who wants us to build our app further. So it's been a great result from just attending 1 hour a week.
From this, we've got developers now contacting us, like Galsica just said, such as Rewired State. We work along Google App developers now, and it all started from just coming up with the idea of maybe stealing the idea from the original Code Club, but it was basically for the younger students. So now we took it up for further educational students, and now we're getting called upon, which we got paid £350 per day for this coding with the Rewired State, which is they're working alongside government data, and we got judged by many stakeholders and developers, of which it's only going to progress even further, and it can only get better. So the main passion of what we're trying to get across to you guys here today is that open up a Code Club. It is really good. Every student should have the right to learn, and that's what I'm passionate about the most, is that everyone gets the chance to learn to code. If your IT teachers do not actually have the opportunity or the time to do it, find somebody that can run a Code Club, and the results you'll be astonished by, believe me. Thank you for listening. Any questions, please?
Right, I'm interested in how you initially promoted this, how you got word around that you were doing Code Club, and how you got students to sign up for. I can see that there is pre-existing motivation already with these two, but maybe you can give examples of other students who maybe didn't have that and how you got them to join.
Well, what we do is we work closely with the marketing team within our college, and they promoted it. We also work very closely with the e-learning team, who also put it up on our on the e-learning website for us. We had posters put around the college, and we're quite good at networking, Toothpick Solutions, that is. So we kind of let everybody know that the club was running, and we have a really good turnout from it. So word of mouth as well got from there, and it only actually started this year. So we do know that next year we're promoting it a lot more. We're actually going to be doing a summer co-club as well. So word gets around. When you want to learn how to code, it does get around. So.
We tried and we didn't actually get many people to.
Did you only was it only promoted maybe in the IT department?
No, well, I'm actually LRC, so and e-learning, so we promoted it via posters, by our e-ambassadors, also via the IT teachers, because obviously we thought we were actually keen to get more girls, if possible, because girls don't usually join technology. But yes, there were very few sign-ups, and then the turnout wasn't regular either. So.
One extra thing that we have found out that I should have mentioned in the presentation is if you work with the curriculum as well, when they're actually running the program, say they're learning Python this term, if we actually do a program on Python, the students that are struggling learning Python languages can actually come along and get extra resources from us. So if you, as a teacher, if I see someone struggling with coding, I will also say, well, why don't you attend the Code Club where you can do some extra work, and it can be done at a slow pace and at your own pace, basically. Any other questions? Okay. Well, thank you very much for listening. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. That was good. Gosh, doesn't that make you want to just go off and do it?